As a little driver's car, it's fine, and I'm sure the new one will be just as good, if not better. I think it'll have ironed out your cheap interior and things that it needs, and I think it'll be obviously a better car. I do know there's so many choices of colours and trim now with this new one, so this is all very bland, basic.
Were there quite a lot of different colours available in this one? Because I've only seen...
There is. Now then, if we go through the colours that I can think of,
I've seen yellow.
You had this sort of like a lemony yellow. There were a moon dust silver. There was this blue, which at this point in time I tend to forget the name. I think it's Imperial Blue or whatever. They did one called a Mars Red, it's a bit like a copper colour. Then there's your Panther Black, and then there's like a solid red one, and there's also a white.
Yeah.
And I think that's all your colours that was then. But the new thing that Ford do now, you can choose your trim because it's like a split colour. Your bottom colour's a certain colour, and you can choose a different colour for top. And they do one called a Tiger Eye, that's an orangey mix and all that with black and stuff. You can choose your wheels and all sorts. And I think they've realised that more people like the idea of this, but sort of wanted more.
Yeah.
And it wasn't giving it then with this. It was, here it is, 3 trim levels and that's it. And that was it.
But then again, it wasn't really intended for our market, was it?
It wasn't, and that's the thing. Like I said in the review, it was made in India, and it was going over to like South America, places like that, and big spare wheel on back because they all love that. And with the 4-wheel drive system it had, and they love it over there. And they must have just had this brainwave thinking, oh, I wonder if it'll sell in UK and that. And
well, because the SUV market was taking off, wasn't it?
And it was a late arrival. By that time, the market was flooded. All Ford did basically years ago was the Fusion, which didn't work, and some people bought into it, but it didn't really work that well. And I think they knew it didn't work well, and they got shut. And they must have thought, we can fit this in where the Fusion sort of failed. And I will say it's better. If you compare it with that, it's a million times better.
But then again, sitting in the skip with wheels was better than Fusion.
I suppose anything like that. I mean, I've seen some of them Fusions, and I just don't know how they got away with that car. But
it had its fans, it had its purpose, it was functional, but barely at times.
I suppose nowadays there's that much choice of vehicles. A lot of cars that people will look at and think, oh no, I won't even sit in that. To some people, I've had this car X amount of years and I absolutely love it and I'm going to get another.
Well, there's people who still like larders.
There you go. The Larder fan club. That really, I'd say, would be about it in niggles. I can live with this, I can live with the boot and things.
What about with driving it? I mean, things like, is gear change smooth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I found straight away with the gear changes, you do know it's from a Fiesta. It is bang on just like the Fiesta's gearbox. In fact, it probably is. It feels perfect.
Okay.
It's a very easy clutch. The steering wheel I know is the Fiesta steering wheel. It's the one that I remember from the 59 plate one. It is exactly the same steering wheel with the cruise control and everything, and the voice activated thing. It's just basically lifted from here. Your dials there, your steering, your gearbox, all your switches. That is all Fiesta.
So in driving, how's it handled?
Do you know, sometimes because of, let's say, the lack of stuff it's got, and it won't weigh so much for the stuff it's lost, it sometimes gives you that impression that you're in a go-kart. And you know you can't sort of do some high-powered speeds, but it gives you that, come on then, it's always like that, it's wanting you to, and you can really chuck it around and stuff, and I'm surprised how nippy it is. It does remind me of a go-kart, and this is why I liked the Fiesta that it's based on, because if you had a small engine Fiesta, they were a really good car to drive.
Yeah.
Once you got out of one of them Fiestas, driving one of them, you knew you'd been in a Ford Fiesta. They were really nice to drive. I can't speak about the new and what they're like. They might be very good, but yeah, it seems to follow that way of the Fiesta. It hasn't lost that purely because it's a bit chunkier and higher up than that. It still gives that impression that you want to come on, and you're always wanting to push it. But then you realise then when you see your revs and stuff like that, and he's going, no, I've had enough, that's it. Because he's only got the 1,000 left. That's it.
Please stop, please stop, please stop.
And coming from a man who's had his RSs and STs and stuff like that, and you think, no, I can get more out of this, and you can't. But no, it does give you that pleasurable drive. It's not a boring drive.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. And I've seen people put things on the internet about these saying, I've had my EcoSport for X amount of years and I've already ordered my new one and I'm collecting it and I can't wait, it's the best car I've ever had. And then someone will comment saying that I wouldn't touch one with a barge pole and all that.
But horses are coasters, isn't it?
It is. And I will keep saying, if I was going out to buy one with my own cash, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay hand-earned money for it.
Yeah.
But I have that soft spot for it that we've got it and it is serving its purpose.
Maybe if it was a second-hand one.
If it was a second-hand one, and yes, I probably would. And there's the reason why. Because they're not that expensive to buy brand new. And there's so many SUVs in the market and Ford give you so much choice with other ones. I can see the prices of these for used and only slightly used plummeting.
Well, there's been a bit of a fire sale on these, as it were, because with the new one coming in, they've been trying to get rid of the old stock.
Yeah.
So that's actually pushed a lot of the second-hand market down. And even in the dealerships, if you actually to get one of these with a dealer warranty now, second user one, because they've been traded in for another one, the price has been depressed a little. So now's a pretty good time to actually get one.
Well, you see, I saw yesterday, it was like a gunmetal grey with black top of the new EcoSport, and I looked at registration, it was 67 plate. Now we know we're on the 18 plate now from 1st of March.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, someone's just gone and got that, probably just before place check, and they've got the new one. And then, lo and behold, I saw an 18 plate old one of this. So they're still crossing, you see. It was same when we got this 17 plate and they think, oh yeah, all brand new and look at it, but it was the older version. So at the moment it's crossing. Some probably are realising that, oh damn, I could have got a brand new facelift model. And some garages are saying, look, get one of these.
But they're probably getting they're probably looking at the facelift model and comparing the two and realising the facelift may be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Whereas these then could be then offered as the ex-demonstrators that aren't necessarily all registered.
They're obviously going to be dearer in price, so they obviously do these new EcoSport. But to be fair, you get a lot
for your money.
You're going to be doing now. You're getting everything what they should have had.
Yeah.
And that's all down to the fact of the new Fiesta that's come out and what it's based on.